Hello, this is going to be a mini spread for ultravioletcherry.tumblr.com. I would tell you how to spell that, but I would have to close this window out. I'll put it in a minute. Anyway, so what I'm going to do, thank you for donating, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a 4-card spread. It's going to be 3 cards on the outside in the shape of an upward pointing triangle, and then 1 card in the center that's kind of holding it together. So I have shuffled these cards quite a bit since the last reading. Still shuffling them. You seem like a 1, 2, 3 cut kind of person. So here we go. I realize that you actually are not going to be able to see these until I hold them up, and that this is the single most unflattering light that I've ever used for anything, ever, probably. So I will show them to you as I talk with them. So here in the peak, think of this as looking at one side of the pyramid dead on, where you can't see the other sides at all. You're just looking at one side of the pyramid. So at the peak of your pyramid, the peak of a pyramid is not totally necessary, but it looks nice. It completes the thing. So this is sort of the airy idea of what's going on. And this spread is the most general of general outlines as to what's going on. So the most general of that general outline here is the Princess of Discs. This is the earthy part of Earth. This is absolute material world business. This is looking at things the way that they are. It's observing people's behaviors as opposed to their words. This is the idea of basically trying to balance your world by understanding it in a really literal, factual way. And this is observing things at their base, like how things actually operate. So that's the area idea, is basically this need to focus on the reality of the situation, to focus on what's happening and what's going on. So this part of the bottom 2 in the pyramid, this is the foundation, this is what's grounding things together. So, a little card that came up in the last spread, the 2 of Wands Dominion. This has to do with taking control over what you are entrusted with. This is dominion in the way that you are dominating what you have dominion over. So I guess another way to explain that would be like, so you have a house, right? And you don't have any fucking maids. You don't have anyone to take, care of you, to look after you. So, but you have this place, and you have to take care of this place. You know where your property lines are, or you at least need to explore and figure out where those are. And then you need to take control of what's happening. If you have ants, you need to get rid of those ants, If you have a structural problem, you need to handle that structural problem. This is just taking control over what you have control over. So, to the left here, the other part of the foundation is a 2-9. This is the Hermit. This is Hode, Virgo. The Hermit in this part of the tie-in here, basically what's going on here is the Hermit is not so much antisocial. It's not like he's like stepping out of society, but he spends time going internal. This is the Virgo fertility possibility that is found by tilling up the soil, by turning the soil. You find the things that are deeper, that that aren't used as much. There's a Cerberus here, a little three-headed hellhound. Imagine this like a dog that you walk by that's behind a fence. in a neighborhood and the dog is barking and yelling and freaking out, but the more that you go by and say you talk to it or you bring a little dog treat, it's probably pisses off its owner, the more that you interact with that dog, the less it's going to bark and freak out at you. So this is the scary things that are happening inside become less scary the more familiar you get with them. In the lamp here with the sun in it, this is your heart. This is, there's really no good way to do this with the candles. So this is basically like following your heart down into the depths and letting that guide you. This is observing yourself and your own realness, your own internal depths, like from wanting to create with that, from like wanting to use that to grow further. So the card in the center of gravity, that's holding everything in place here, the heart of this, is the Knight of Discs. This is the fiery part of Earth, or needing to take care of business in the real world, the material world. This card is about you have created things. This is harvest time. You've done all this work throughout the year. You've planted these crops, you've tended to them. Now you need to figure out how you're going to take them down, and you need to go and do that. You need to figure out, should I harvest the wheat first or the soybeans? Will the soybeans go bad before the wheat? This is making a plan to reap the rewards from the effort or the work that you've already put into something. So, all of that might have been kind of ethereal, or it could be sleep, or the hash, a lot of things, I don't know. So the basic outline of this, the idea here is that you need to focus on what's going on, like real world, tangible things. You need to take control of the actions that you are supposed to do, not that someone else told you to do, but what you need to do to take care, to get your house in order. And you need to maybe dig up the garden, dig up the garden in that house a little bit, get a little deeper in yourself to figure out what's going on and what you can do with that stuff that you have laying right below the surface. And then the central card here is about how this effort leads to amassed. You have accumulated material, you have accumulated matter, things, and now you have to figure out how you're going to use those things, how you're going to take those things out of the ground and make that something that's nourishing. So basically, look at things the way that they are. Control only what you are supposed to control. Don't overreach. Don't reach anywhere. Find your boundaries and control that. Inside of those boundaries, dig a lot. Make it worth it. Find the gold mine. Find the gold vein on your property. And then harvest that gold vein. Harvest that reward from what you're doing. And use that to furtherly create. So, ta-da! And this is sleep, dope smoker, but you all probably already know that, and I've listened to that half the time doing readings anyway. Ta-da! It's so hard to find this button sideways.